Compliments of the season, glad to know you're there. The program is Agriculture in Focus. Agriculture in Focus is a production of Part Agro Media. Part Agro Media is all about advancing food security and agribusiness. My name is Alpha Jagden. As the year winds down, we will be looking at measures being put in place by the government and, of course, the private sector on how best we can step up measures at attaining food security. The central theme on today's episode of the program will be dry season farming, with special emphasis on the role of women. What are their challenges? What are also their prospects? That will form the central theme of our interview today. But as always, this program will go out to the streets and talk to Nigerians on what they think and how best they believe dry season agriculture can enhance food security. That will be followed by our main interview segment. And as always, Abigail Stowe will bring you some news that you can use. After the news segment, I'll hand you over to the good hands of Timmy Simpson, who will bring Common Sense Agriculture our way. Common Sense Agriculture is that part of the program where I usually won't let the cat out of the bag. Why? Because I want you to make sense of same for yourself. We'll bring the show to a close with Trending Fields. Balogun Anthony will be bringing Trending Fields, and Trending Fields is that part of the program where we normally marry what's out there on the social media and the world of agriculture. Once more, thanks for joining us.
In my place, Plateau State, Mangu local government, we do dry season farming a lot, and it's very helpful and important in my state. Not in my state alone, Nigeria entirely. It helps because in dry season there is a shortage of food. So when we plant Irish potato, it helps a lot, especially in the big restaurants where they consume it a lot. And we are asking if government can come to our help and support the women, especially the women. It will be very helpful and important to us.
Concerning dry season farming, but it's cheaper to farm during the rainy season because of the rain. Dry season farming, if you don't have strength and you don't have money, you cannot cope with it because you water this vegetable to come out like this morning and evening. Even the water leaf for dry season, you know how much a liter of fuel costs now for you to be putting inside the pumping machine, to be pouring water on the vegetable. That's why dry season farming is more expensive than rainy season. Mostly it's men that do it because women, we don't have power for dry season farming.
To, kun ga dry season ba kowane abubuwan noma ne za a iya yi a lokacin dry season ba. Kin ga kaman doya ba za a iya yi shi a dry season ba. Dawa ba za a iya yi shi a dry season ba. Amma masara aka yi shi a rainy season. Ana yin shinkafa a rainy season. Ana yin tomato a rainy season and dry season. Ana yin aleho a dry season saboda akan ba su ruwa. Amma kaman dawa ko ana ba su ruwa haka nan ba za su yi ba. Doya ko ana ba su ruwa haka nan ba za su yi ba. So amfanin gonan kenan.
Compliments of the season, and thanks for joining us on today's episode of our interview segment. I have a special guest who will be sharing her thoughts on the subject matter. What are we looking at? We're looking at the smallholder farmer, but with greater emphasis on women and dry season farming. Do join me welcome Mrs. Wakilat Okeji.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you.
You don't look like a farmer.
Yeah, I'm a farmer. I have been farming since my youth service year. That's far back as 2008 in Kano State. So, and since then, I have been into agriculture.
What tickled your fancy on a serious note?
Oh, okay. Growing up, really, I think agriculture has supported my education. My mother has rears animals at home, and then my daddy is very supportive of agricultural production. So it really has
enhanced my stay in school because we fall back to it when
That's right.
we have difficulty.
All right. Now, when you look at where women are in agriculture today, statistics indicate that out of 100% of smallholder farmers in Nigeria, 70% are women. When you hear this kind of statistics, what comes to mind?
The food that we consume in this country, 70% of that food is being produced by smallholder women farmer. And that's to show you that if you take that out, then insecurity, food insecurity is very much a thing to be discussing here.
All right. Now, are you worried when a government just comes into power and decides to declare a state of emergency as far as food security is concerned?
In July, when the current government pronounced that there's an emergency in the food production in Nigeria, it's something that everybody is in tune with because we know from the figures in the market, from the costs we spend on food in all our households, we know definitely something urgently has to happen. So I'm very glad that he saw that and he's ready to take the bull by the horn.
You know, as a woman, share your thoughts with our viewers. You know, the place of agriculture, how convenient is it for the Nigerian woman, looking at the role she plays?
Women just have that 70% production, like the total population of producers.
Are we talking of labor?
Yes, in labor.
Oh, okay.
But in terms of output, most men are dominating the higher yields, the exports, the bigger businesses. But the local market, the day-to-day pepper that we buy in the market, the okra, the tomatoes and everything, these ones are handled mainly by women. And this is what sustains the average Nigerian. Women are key in the agri sector and they have a lot of difficulties and challenges that they are facing because like I told you, access is not the same for both women and men. Where matters are being discussed, most of the time women are not in participation. So when they are not in participation, that means decisions that favors them are not tendered on the table. So you find out that access to information is also very difficult for a rural woman to have. Men go about their businesses, they interact with other people, and they get this access to information. They know what is happening, but it's not the same for the women in the rural area.
If we were to bridge that gap, can technology in any way play a role?
Technology will go a long way to playing a role to enhancing access for women. They can interact with their devices and also take the gains that technology has to offer.
Towards this measure, what can you say is being done? Do we have cooperatives for women that you are involved in? Do we have clusters for women? You know, share your thoughts with us.
Yes, we have cooperative for women, and this cooperative exists in different forms. As for me, I am a member of Smallholder Women Farmers Organization in Nigeria, and thanks to Action Aid that saw the need to bring women together so that we can have a voice. It's this voice that is actually enabling us to know what is happening, be there when it's happening, and take advantage of what is happening. So in the past, we were just there. It's only whenever that the government deem it fit to like consider us in the take of whatever they are distributing. But now we ask questions because of our solidarity, our unionism. We ask questions. We are able to talk. We are able to even see what is inside the budget and say, okay, this part of the budget we want to be able to take part in it.
I can see that for the first time, probably in a very long while, government is paying attention to dry season farming. The minister has gone to Jigawa about 2 weeks ago to even launch it. When you have that, what came to mind?
It's a step in the right direction. However, I still have concern, especially as a woman and as a farmer. farming is time bound.
Yeah.
And when you don't have access as quickly as you should, whatever you have after the season is over amounts to nothing. Preparation for dry season starts as early as October.
That's right.
So, but having input now, that's flag off. It will still take a while before it's been disbursed to other parts of the country. So all this lag in time is going to affect the end result they would like to see.
All right, hold your thoughts. We'll take a short break. The program is Agriculture in Focus. I want to state here clearly this program is open to sponsorship. Do stay tuned. We'll be back shortly. The program is Agriculture in Focus.
The world is talking about regenerative agriculture.
Activity alone can be a great source of revenue.
You're most welcome back. The program is Agriculture in Focus, and our guest is Mrs. Wakilat Okeji. Once more, thanks for staying on. When it comes to dry season farming, are women in any way being part of the shine?
Yes, women, even without the intervention of the government, women have been involved in dry season agric production. Like most of the items that I mentioned, the okra, the vegetables, the tomatoes, and all of that, they are majorly done in the dry season. And you find out that it's women that are majorly part of the production chain of those lined items.
We woke up one morning and the government decided to open our borders to about 43 items, and part of it are agricultural products. In your opinion, was that a good decision?
The fact that it is a bad decision anyway for a producer like me, because you're giving what I have the capacity to produce to an external person.
But you seem not to be meeting up.
Yes, we are not able to meet up, but the essence is for us to be self-sufficient, and an investment should be more on trying to make us produce sufficiently, not on the opening of the border. Yes.
Insecurity is no doubt a problem. Do you think government is doing enough in that area?
Insecurity has been one of the reasons why we have high rates of inflation in food items in Nigeria. As I tell you, last season farming, most of my farmers that we are in the same cooperative together cannot harvest their products because of insecurity. If they are not accompanied by either their husband or somebody they know that can give them that level of protection, they will not go to the farm. Some of them had to abandon their crops in the farm. Some of them harvested their crops while they are not yet very matured, just because they want to secure their produce. So insecurity has not been properly tackled in Nigeria, and if we want to have food security in Nigeria, insecurity is one of the major problems that the government needs to tackle, and it has to be now.
As a woman who is deeply involved in agriculture, when it comes to the agribusiness value chain, what comes to mind?
I produce poultry product, and because we don't have the capacity we don't have access to the right market, we don't have the capacity to store our produce, we don't have we don't have the financial liquidity to be in business for longer than the period we're producing. We have to sell to the middlemen. Middlemen take the advantage of us producing, because they have the storage, they have the access to markets, they have all of that. So it's really biting in on our profit and the income that we can make as
recently
farmers.
The Lagos state government came up with a kind of where you could store eggs that will last longer than normal shelf life if it was out and all that. Are you looking at such options?
Yes, we are, and that is why we are clamoring that government should look into, because they are actually capital intensive. So you wouldn't expect a rural woman that is a subsistent farmer to be able to afford such kind of technology for storing their product. If herbs can be produced in the country, then we will be able to get a better storage and better yield for our product.
When you look at the rather high cost of food in Nigeria today, is there anything that can be done to lower same?
What can be done to actually reduce the price is to increase production. If you give me input timely enough and train me, give me extension services that I need, give me access, good road to the farm and back, guarantee me security in my farm, then we will see increase in production.
All right, as we round up, I want to find out from you as a stakeholder. Tell us, in your opinion, where lies the future of the Nigerian woman as far as agriculture is concerned?
I will say the future of Nigerian woman farmer is bright, and we are strong enough. We have been doing it in our own little way. We have succeeded this far, and we're going to cooperate more and make sure that whatever is available to us, that is what we do as women. You give us one, we multiply. So we are promising the government that if they are serious and they properly engage us, they will see results.
Thanks for your expertise.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I hope we get to do this more and more. And I wish you all the best,
Thank
in your effort to see that at least there's food sufficiency.
Thank you.
Well, the program is Agriculture in Focus, where advancing food security and agribusiness remains our mainstay. I'll now hand you over to Abigail Stowe for some news that you can use.
Thank you and welcome to the new segment of Agriculture in Focus. As part of efforts to unlock the potentials in the agricultural sector of the economy and curb unemployment among youths, the federal government says it is ready to provide loans to Nigerian university graduates who are willing to go into farming. The Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi, has unveiled the aspiration of the federal government to produce 31 million metric tons of grains in 2024 to combat food inflation across the country. Governor Diko Rada of Katsina State is poised for partnership with the Korea International Cooperation Agency in the area of agriculture, whereby small farming implements and small-scale irrigation technologies will be provided to Katsina farmers to advance their agricultural activities. And now to the global scene. On the sidelines of COP28 on climate change in Dubai, the National Agency for Development of Oases and Annual Trees in Morocco, in collaboration with the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, hosted a consultative meeting to reinforce the Sustainable Oasis Initiative, which is aimed at the development of oasis regions. As Tanzania rolls out the Building a Better Tomorrow program, President Samia Hassan has invited stakeholders across the world to invest on tremendous agro opportunities available in the country, saying Tanzania intends to be a hub for food production in Eastern and Central Africa. This has been the news on the news segment of Agriculture in Focus. Thank you for staying with us. There's lots more coming your way. I am Abigail Stone.
Abigail Stowe, thank you so much for that news segment. I will now hand you over to Timmy Simpson for Common Sense Agriculture.
Welcome to Common Sense Agriculture, our low-hanging insights into farming and agribusiness. My name is Timmy Simpson. Increased world population will demand more food production, less water-consuming crops, better crop production, techniques and better strategies for weed control. Looking at weeds and its harmful effects on production in farming, it is important for farmers to consider weed management approaches. These may vary from crop to crop, with focus on organic weed management, non-chemical weed control, and cover crops. Weeding practice in any crop depends on crop factors such as position in rotation and plant spacing, on field factors such as soil type, and wheat seed bank history, and on seasonal factors like rainfall. Crop losses can be reduced by integrated weed management with resistant crop varieties, rational use of agrochemicals, biocontrol agents, crop rotation, and better cultural practices. Complementary weed control methods include grazing, herbicide application, land fallowing, irrigation methods, mulching, and intercropping. The common sense here is to consider sustainable methods of weeding in order to boost farmers' production. Until we come your way again, be guided by these low-hanging insights into farming and agribusiness from Agriculture in Focus. My name is Timmy Simpson.
Timmy Simpson, as always, thanks for your words of wisdom. It's about time I hand you over to Balogun Anthony for Trending Fields. Balogun Anthony, your time starts now.
Good day and welcome to Trending Fields here on Agriculture in Focus. Now, in this segment, we're listening to agriculture topics trending all across the internet. My name is Balogun Anthony, and thank you for joining us. Now, for our first trend for today, Beyond Vision, a drone manufacturing company, has just dropped an agri-bomb, and that is the Rural Environmental Monitoring via Ultra-Wide Area Networks and Distributed Federated Learning project, which they tag Remarkable. Now, this is a project that's turning rural areas into tech wonderlands. In collaboration with Summit University Offer and Footmina, they are making sure the digital party reaches every corner as they are training young farmers and universities on how to use agri-tech to boost agricultural production. Now, this project will use drones to collect data on environmental conditions in rural areas. The data will then be analyzed using artificial intelligence algorithms to identify potential problems and develop solutions. Now, the project will also develop a revolutionary cloud UAV management platform, which is an unmanned aerial vehicle that will make it easier to operate and manage drones. Now, this isn't a one-time show. Beyond Vision and universities are on a mission. The next month will see rural areas lighting up with tech genius. Remarkable isn't just a project, it's a promise to turn students into the next gen tech heroes. Now, for our next trend, the United Nations COP28 conference kicked off in Dubai with a bang as 134 nations pledged at the leaders' event to revolutionize their food systems for a climate in crisis. Now, it's not your average climate talk. This one's all about the food that we eat. This is just the start as leaders are committing $200 million for agricultural research and innovations. Small-scale family farmers responsible for a third of the world's food are demanding a real say and a fair share of climate finance. Now, for our last trend for today, sportswear giants Puma have successfully turned one of its suede trainers into grade A compost for agricultural use. Yes, you heard that correctly. The company has developed a bespoke procedure that could pave the way for a large-scale recycling program. Now, Puma's success in composting its suede trainers is a significant step towards the company's efforts to reduce its environmental impact. The company has a set goal of becoming a net zero carbon emissions business by 2030. Now, that's all for today here on Trending Fields on Agriculture in Focus. If you'd like to be part of the program, like to send us your insights, your comments, and suggestions as to how to improve the show to serve you better, you can send us a message on all our social media platforms. The handle is @patagro_media. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Balogun Anthony, and do have a great night.
Balogun Anthony, thank you so much for Trending Fields. And this is where we'll be drawing the curtain on today's episode. Do join us same time, same station next week for yet another interesting episode of the program. Always remember, this program is open to sponsorship. My name is Alpha Jackden.